Hello, everyone. You may wonder, this is the end of 2024, and I was wondering, what is your New Year's resolution? What will you do in 2025? What does expats do during New Year's in China? Well, stay tuned for our next episode of the Village Podcast. And remember, just sit, relax, and chill. Dive into a special topic. What can expats do for New Year's Eve in China? It's a time of celebration, and we're here to help you make the most of it. So, first things first, New Year's Eve in China is celebrated a bit differently than Western countries. While many still observe the Georgian calendar, New Year on December 31st. The Chinese Lunar New Year is the main event, usually falling between January 21st and February 20th. But that does not mean expats can't enjoy a fantastic New Year's Eve celebration on December 31st. So we're going to talk about some fun options. So if you're in a major city like Shanghai or Beijing, there are often impressive public celebrations. Obviously, fireworks, live music, and the countdown parties that can be found all around. In Shanghai, for example, the Bund offers a spectacular view of the skyline. Picture this. Thousands of people gathering to witness a dazzling fireworks, lighting up the night sky at midnight. So also, don't forget about local bars and clubs. In these main cities in China, many host special events with theme parties like having a DJ, performances, and of course, lots of food and drinks. So, things to do for New Year's, for those who want to try something a bit different, you can consider joining a group for a New Year's Eve dinner cruise along the scenic rivers. So imagine sailing, during nighttime and, you have the city lights shimmering on the water as you enjoy a delicious meal and toast to the new year. You have nice champagne, some good food. So if you're feeling adventurous, how about heading to a local hot spring? Like I was, in a hot spring last week for Christmas. But anyways, it's a relaxing way to reflect on, the previous year while welcoming in the new one in a serene setting. So, say if you don't want to go out, what else can you do? So, best thing is to, cozy at home. So, if the hustle or bustle isn't your style, like going out, going to clubs, partying, meeting with friends, you just want to rest, you know, just consider spending time at home for the New Year's Eve. You could binge watch your favorite shows, cooking up a nice meal, especially a delicious one, and even set up a, virtual countdown with your family and friends back in your hometown, or, your friends and family in different countries. Also, you can celebrate by trying, your hand at making some Chinese dumplings, which is the main dish that Chinese people make for, during the New Year festivities. Plus, let's not forget about the drinks, have some local beverages or cocktails that represent your home country. Or, if you don't drink, just have some juice or some pop, for example. And just toast to yourself or toast to your, friends and family through, being online, Happy New Year's. So when it comes to a traditional celebration, um, we're going to talk about, the traditional Chinese New Year celebrations. While the Western New Year falls on December 31st, obviously, the Chinese New Year usually take place around January and mid-February. So if you're in China during this time, or if it's your first time, you can immerse yourself in the festivities that includes lion dances, what else? Fireworks, and even family reunions, because that's very important during the new year. So, like, also you can see colorful parades, eat traditional Chinese food during the holidays. Um, Also, in different parts of China, like the countryside or like the tier two cities, you can buy firecrackers, and you just play with them on the street and, see the fireworks because in the main city, like in Shanghai, like it's illegal to buy fireworks. But you can do that, outside of the big cities. So, like, these traditional customs are a fantastic way for expats to experience the culture firsthand. Um, about cultural experiences, um, if you're looking for something a little bit more cultural, why not explore some traditional Chinese customs? So, for instance, you could go to a local temple fair or join a community gathering to welcome a new year. Um, you can do like a mini tour guide around the city during that time. So you can have a good time exploring the city or cities. It depends on what area you want to go to. About temples, like there, you can have special ceremonies that could be quite enriching. Um, it's also a great way to meet Chinese people, the local people, whatever city that you're in, and other expats around that area. So it's like networking and, making new friends, basically. I believe you can have a potluck dinner in which you can host a potluck dinner with other expat friends of yours or local Chinese people where you could share some dishes from your home country and they can share theirs from their hometown as well, because some Chinese people are coming from different provinces living in a big city or a small city, so like you can food exchange and, have a good time doing that and, just relax. Um, about virtual celebrations. Um, let's not forget about the expats who may not be able to celebrate in person with their friends or family. Like I mentioned before, many communities offer virtual events. It could be live stream, it could be FaceTime um, through social media. That's important if you really want to, spend family time that way. Um, go on other, countdown live streams with, your friends of yours from different countries and see the difference. For instance, like if you have a friend in South Korea, they be ahead of time, whereas, you're living in China or, anywhere where, you're behind time. So like that's kind of cool. Um, Also, you can feel, connected. Doesn't matter what distance are you in, so like that could be a annual tradition if you want to do that with your friends and family. So no matter how you choose to celebrate, the key is to embrace every moment and enjoy the experience, for New Year's or even Chinese New Year. Remember, the New Year's Eve is all about new beginnings and also making last memories. So therefore, we love to hear your plans for the New Year's Eve in China or anywhere around the world. You can share your experiences with us on social media or in the comments. And I would like to say thank you for tuning in to The Village. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. So take care of yourself and each other. And here's to a wonderful new year wherever you are. God bless. Thank you.